Welcome back. It is, the heater's on. It is the end of November, early December, 28th. So it's the very end of November. I just went through and edited and uploaded my June book haul. So this is everything I've bought since June. I'm in a new house, as you can probably see, but I guess you really can't see much of this. I have a bookshelf thing coming soon. I just realized when I was editing it that I never finished editing it. So I will finish editing it. So in the meantime, I have a bunch of book outlet boxes, a bunch of boxes from Book Outlet, a couple things from Target, and then some miscellaneous books that I got at used bookstores. So I figured that I would just go through and give you a little book haul. Hold the little, because I've been holding on to these for a long time for this. So this is about 6 months worth of books. When I say it like that, it doesn't scare me so bad, but when I say how many books are here, it does. I have a cat running around in the background who keeps knocking stuff over. We call him Godzilla lovingly. His name's Jeffrey, but we call him Godzilla because he loves to come into this room and knock over piles of books. So if you hear a bunch of thundering in the background, it's because he's jumping around and or knocking things over. So let's get started. All right, so this is my Target order. They had a buy one, get one half off a while ago, and I bought a bunch of books. The first one I bought was The Marionettes. This is by Katie Weismer. I know she does YouTube. I actually found her first on YouTube, but I was really interested in her books and I wanted to support her, so I went ahead and bought one of her books on the sale. I also bought From Blood and Ash, which I've heard terrible things about, and I've also heard wonderful things about, and I have a feeling this is going to be a Twilight for me. This is going to be one of those books that you don't want to admit is one of your favorites, but you kind of can't help but love regardless. And I also bought The Thursday Murder Club. Again, I've heard great things about this. This is one of those books that I've been wanting to read for a very long time. Now I finally have it. And now that I'm showing you all these books, I feel like I can actually read it. Next, I got like 2 boxes worth of stuff. They're not very big boxes, but they're still 2 boxes worth. I know that the other books, There's Someone Inside Your House, got a lot of hate, but I loved it. It was such a throwback to 90s horror movies that it was one of my favorites. So I got the second one. I don't know if it's a sequel or if it's just another horror book. I finally replaced my Owl Crate edition. The little paperback, I finally replaced it. And now I have the first 3, and I want to just go upstairs, add a couple extra blankets to my bed because it's too cold up there, get cozy, and read the 3 of these. All right, this is called The Blood Trials. I've only heard a little bit about it, but I have heard really good things about it. And I don't remember what it's about at this point in time. It says a gift, a secret, both could get her killed. But I know that it's a sci-fi fantasy, and I've heard amazing things about it, so I bought it. I do that a lot. It's a book I hear about, so therefore I buy it. Okay, last book from Target. I got the Addicted to You, the first book in the Calloway series. I know it's a romance. I don't know much more about it than that, and I also know it's really, really well loved. I know that there's 2 different series that intertwine, and I think this is the first book, but I will double check before I actually read it. Okay, so now my pile of other stuff that I got, whether it was from Barnes & Noble or it was from a thrift store like the Half Price books. I went to Half Price and I dropped off 4 giant boxes, like U-Haul, small to medium sized boxes of books. I actually have another one started for what's left. I went through all of my books and I culled a bunch of stuff. And I was gonna do an unhaul for you guys, but I was in a really bad place. I've been really sick and I was in a lot of pain, and I just didn't want to deal with trying to film and upload when we were in this catastrophe of a mess. So I just took all these books in, and I would get between $70 and $100 per box for these trips. I want to say we ended up taking like 2 or 3 trips total, and anywhere from 1 to 4 boxes in each of these trips. So I got rid of hundreds of books, and these 2 piles are the accumulation of the books that I bought either with that money or while I was at half price books. Not all of these are half price books, but a lot of them are, and I will point out the ones that aren't. So the first thing I got was Written in the Stars. It's a Seattle-based love story between 2 females. It looks super cute, and now that I live in Washington again and Seattle is home, I thought it'd be fun and nostalgic, and again, half priced. The next book that I got from half price was Gallant. I've been wanting to read this. It was almost the same price on here that at half price that it would have been at Book Outlet, but they didn't have any at Book Outlet when I bought this. They had it in the past, but they didn't have it currently. And of course, right after I buy it, Book Outlet gets it for the same price, but whatever. All right, and then there's this series. I don't remember what order they go in, but I have The Waking Lands, The Memory of Fire, and The Soul of Power. I'm pretty sure this is the first one, and they are like fantasy retellings. And I think this one's based on, I wanted to say that it was based on Peter Pan, but now I'm not sure. I don't remember exactly. All I remember was that these were books that I wanted a long time ago. The sticker's missing off this one because I was going to read it, but I haven't yet because I'm in the worst reading slump of my entire life that's lasted the last 2 years. But I'm starting to come out of it now, so fingers crossed that I'll get better. But yeah, all 3 of them are a trilogy together. They were like $8 each, and I probably should not have bought all 3 of them, but they all match. And there's that piece of me that was like, I can't pass up a trilogy that I've been wanting to read for a long time, even though I can't remember what it's about. So I bought all of them. The sound just got better, so yeah. The next one I got was the Grace Mercy. I have another book by this author. It's the first book in the spin-off, and I didn't realize it was a spin-off. So I went and got the original. Again, it's $5. I was using money that I was doing a trade over anyways, so I ended up coming home with some extra money, which was nice. Okay, next I got The Discovery of Witches. I've heard good things about this book, and I've heard bad things about this book. I wanted to find out for myself. This one, it's another one of those ones that was on Book Outlet. And I saw it, but I didn't have enough money in my account. I try to get my books up to $35 before I buy any of them. That way I don't have to pay for shipping, because shipping is like $5, and that's like a full book to me. So if I can buy a book instead of paying for shipping, I will. So this was at Book Outlet for like $7. It was at half price for $8.50, but it kept going out of stock. And kept going out of stock and kept going out of stock. So I finally gave up and just bought it at half price. And then right after I bought it at half price, it was at Book Outlet for the $7 or whatever it was, $6.50. So I spent a little bit too much money, but whatever. Like I said, it was a wash. Same with book lovers, exactly the same thing. I wanted to read it, so here we go. Okay, I think, nope, that's not it. All right, last 2 books I got from half price. Again, this was an accumulation of stuff from weeks, months probably. I got The Tethered Mage, another book that I've been looking at forever and had never been able to find for a decent price. So I got that one, and then I got the hardcover of Passengers. I already had the paperback, but the hardcover of these books are really pretty. They're embossed, and I like them so much that I wanted to make sure that I had the hardcover of both, and I have not read it yet. even though I've owned the paperback forever. The paperback is now at half price because I just basically traded over. All right, and then I have a couple of books that I got. I swear I had more than just 3 books, but apparently I don't. I thought I had 4. These are books that I got at Barnes & Noble from the buy one, get one half off. The first one I got was The Night and Its Moon. Piper is a TikToker that I like watching, and I've heard mixed things about her as a author since then. Not that her book is bad, but that she is mean to reviewers. So I'm really hoping that's not true, but I definitely think that it turned me off of reading her book, and so I have not touched it yet. Next one I got is What Lies Beneath the Veil. This is one of those books that was on the buy one, get one half off table, and I needed one more book to be able to hit that 4 books, which is why I'm trying to figure out what the other book is I'm missing, because I only have 3 books here. So either I bought one for my daughter, or I have another book floating around somewhere. But I read the back and thought it sounded good, so I bought it. That is the reason for all my books, I swear. Same with the fine print. This one I kind of started. I was playing around. We went out to dinner or lunch, and I just kind of started reading it a little bit. I know it's a billionaire romance. I've never read a billionaire romance before, so we'll see. All right. The next couple books came in my FairyLoot boxes. If you guys want me to unbox my FairyLoot boxes, because I got the full one again, I ended up only having the book only for I think a month or 2, because the book only one just didn't seem worth it to me in the end. I was spending like $5 less and getting just the book, and that didn't include the second book. So there was one of the months where I only got one of the 2 books instead of both of them, and it just ended up being frustrating for me. So I went ahead and I went back to the full thing. I have Belladonna, which is like a cursed flower. I don't know, but the end pages are really pretty. The book itself is the same as the paperback or the dust cover. It's got pretty edges. It's signed. I'm hoping it's good. I heard mixed things about it though. This one I'm actually really excited about. This one's like a very dark witchy one, and so it sounds like it's right up my alley. So this is One Dark Window, and again it's green edges, inside cover, the cover. I think this one's also signed, but I'm not positive. No, it doesn't look like it is. And those are really big words. So, I mean, hey. And then I also had Violet Made of Thorns. Wow, I can read. I swear. Also very pretty sprayed edges. Inside cover. I've noticed that some of these are signed and some of them aren't. But I don't really look too deeply into them when I first get them. I'm just reading the synopsis of them, and now that I can't remember what this one's about, but it doesn't look like this one's signed either. It looks like only that one is signed. And then the other one I have is our bonus, and this one is Princess of Souls, which is signed and sprayed. I don't really know much about those ones, honestly. I just have them because they're my FairyLoot books, and I did read them when I first did read the synopsis when I first got them, but I haven't read any of them yet. All right, so let's move on to my book of the month books. I've got several of them here. I did not grab a pair of scissors, so this is gonna be fun to open. And I wanted to read these too. I just told you, reading slump. So these are from September. I had Killer of a Certain Age and Love on the Brain, a romance and a cozy mystery. Very happy with the options they've had most of these months. I did skip one month, but I don't remember what month it was. It wasn't this month though. December I just ordered, like today. I'm excited about those ones. All right, which month is this? This is not that month. What month is this? July. We have the bookmark. Then I had some extras in here. The Philosopher's Flight. I don't know why I picked this, but this is from like 2018, so it's old. And then we have The House Across the Lake, which I have not read yet. This is the only Riley Sager book that I have not read yet. I did not like a couple of his more recent ones. I'm hoping that this one will be different. My husband read that one already and loved it. And then we have The Bodyguard, which is another romance, because I'm a sucker for romances, and I'm not real big on the bodyguard trope, but I don't know. All right, this one I think is October's. Yes, this is October's, because I got Sign Here, which I really want to read. I also got another bookmark. I really want to read this one. This one's like a devilish, you know, signing up people for hell, and I want to read it. So I keep chewing on my lip, it's bothering me, and I can't stop. It's just... I also got The Kiss Curse, because again, romance. I have so many romances that I need to just read. And then Thistlefoot, which I thought sounded really good. And they did a bunch of live shows on some of these books, and I haven't actually read them yet, but I had them all for the live show. So I haven't watched the live shows yet. It's just become this horrible little pattern that I'm in, that I'll actually have the books for once and then not read them. This should be November's box. So this is October, yeah, November. Okay, so this is November's box. And this is one of those ones where I didn't have one that I was like super interested in for that month. The only one that I was kind of interested in was this one. And this one is Wilder Women. I don't remember what it's about again, but it was another fantasy book. I'll usually pick the fantasy, like a cozy mystery, or the romance, depending on what it is. This one was an extra from October that I wanted to get, but I ran out of room, so I already had 3 books. And this was a Chloe Gong book, which I thought sounded really good. My sister's been reading Chloe Gong lately and told me that they were amazing, so I went ahead and grabbed it. And this one, they sold out of in October, so I couldn't get it in October, so I got it in November instead. This is The Spell for Forgetting by Adrienne Young, and I love Adrienne Young, and this is her first adult book, and I am stoked to read this one. Let's see if I actually do. Okay, so now we're up to my book outlet. Some of these are open because they either showed up that way or my daughter opened them to pull something out of them. So, we're not going to comment on the fact that I already have this book and forgot. We're just not. Okay, so I got The Soulmate Equation, which I have read and loved and thought it was really cute and I really liked it. And I wanted to be able to have it for my own collection because I read it on my Kindle from the library about a year ago. When my nephew was born, I stayed with them and there was nights I couldn't sleep, so I just read. Alright. The next one I have, woo, everything's falling over, is The Betrayals. I have heard really great things about Bridget Collins as an author. She writes historical fiction, and I love historical fiction, so I figured this would be a good option. I don't remember what this one's about, but I do have 2 of her books now, and I have them both on audio, so hopefully I'll be able to get to them soon. They'll do like the follow along type of thing, just so that it's easier for me to read them. Alright, so we also have The Hall of Smoke. It's one of those ones where the cover got me. I read the synopsis, thought it sounded interesting, and picked it up without knowing what it's about. This is the only Taylor Jenkins Reid book that I am planning on having in my library. Her other books just do not sound interesting to me at all. But this one sounds really interesting to me. It's about this woman whose husband goes missing and they assume that he's dead. And then after he's been declared dead, she falls in love with somebody else. And right before she gets married to this other person, her husband shows up. And I heard it's heart-wrenching, but I heard it's really good. It was the only Taylor Jenkins Reid book that I've actually been interested in reading. I'm not really into the whole famous woe's me trope. Alright, the next book I got was from PC Cast. I love PC Cast. I'll buy anything that she writes. And this is at the start of another with a continuation of another series. I have not started this one yet. I have the first book and now the second book. So hopefully I can start it soon. And then let's see, I'm gonna pull the little pile of books out of this box because it's hard to hold the box. All right, the next one I got was Master of Jinn. I heard about this on Reagan's channel and she seemed to like it. It sounded interesting. I have no other excuses besides that. The next one I have is Briar Girls. Briar is like Briar Rose. Sorry, my camera shut off. But Briar Rose is the name of the princess in Sleeping Beauty, and this is like a retelling of that, I think is what I read. That's something to do with, it says Leah has a secret, the touch of her skin can kill. And she was cursed by a witch. I don't think it's actually a Sleeping Beauty retelling, but it does have influences, kind of like saying that A Court of Thorns and Roses is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. It's kind of not, but it's got flavors of it. Okay, I have Bella Morte. Oh, this is book 1. I don't know what it's about. I have not the slightest idea. But it was like death-ish, and I liked that. All right, this is Our Lady of Mysterious Ailments. I read The Library of the Dead recently, and when I was finished reading Library of the Dead, I added this to my cart, so when I checked out, it was already in there. And then I got Tea Kingfisher, because everybody hypes up Tea Kingfisher so much that I wanted to read one, and I was gonna buy this from Target, but it was like $20 more at Target than it was at Book Outlet, so I got it from Book Outlet instead. All right, there's another open box in here somewhere, but this one is not one of them. This one is still, oh, come on. I don't have scissors right now. There we go. I'm making a mess in my newly cleaned room. Okay, I bought this box a long time ago. One of my favorite authors series is Lane Taylor and the Daughter of Smoke and Bone series. They had 2 of the covers for the remake series. There's the other one. I'm missing the 3rd one, but I thought it would be more fun to just buy these while they were inexpensive and add them to my shelf, because I really, really like these books and these covers are kind of cool looking. So there's one more that I'm missing, but I have 2 of the 3 now. Oh, Slice and Dice. I've had this forever and I have not opened it yet. This is why I try to get to them and open them right away, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get my money back on this one or not. So I have The King of Crows. This is the Last Diviner's book. I just needed the Last Diviner's book. Have I started the series? No. Do you think I like the series? Yes. Have I heard crappy things about the last book? Also yes. And it's ripped. Looks like someone got too excited with the box knife. All right, let's see what else. I don't have an excuse for this. I was not planning on buying this. The Archived is a series that she started and is never gonna finish. She straight out said it's never gonna get finished because she changed publishers and they can't. I don't know why I bought it. The next book we have in here is The Naturals. This one's just like a cozy mystery murder type of thing, and I like those. I've been in the mood for them lately. Me and my daughter are rewatching Bones, and it just seemed to fit. This is why you should not buy books before you start the series. This is the 3rd book in the Alice series, and because it is based on Alice in Wonderland, I thought for sure I was gonna love it. Those books are so weird. I read Alice and the Red Queen. They are short audiobooks. I listened to them while I was still in California, and this box has just come along with me for the ride because I've had it forever. And I bought this right as I started Alice because I was like, okay, this is gonna be great. And I'm gonna have all 3 of them. I don't know if I'm keeping the other 2. They're in my possible unhaul pile because I don't know if I want to keep them. because they were so bizarre. And I don't know if I'm gonna read that one. I don't do that one at all. I like Christina Henry, don't get me wrong. Her books are great. I just was not a fan of the Alice books. I don't know. It's called Bad Girls Don't Die. I have no idea. Shielded, I've heard good and bad things about. It's a YA fantasy series. And even though I don't read YA as much anymore, apparently I've been buying it. So I don't know what that means. And then last but not least, in that box is The Ravens. Same thing. YA fantasy series. Luckily I didn't buy both of them because they were both available. Don't judge me. Okay, let's try this pull tab. But it doesn't look like it's perforated. Does this still work? Yes, it will. Oh, I didn't know I bought that. Okay, sorry. This is the book I commented that on. Again, another Christina Henry book that I read on my Kindle and loved. So I wanted to have the real copy. So yay. All right, this book is a little bent up. It's called A Hero Born. I'm not positive what it's about. Again, this is a fantasy book that I saw when I was browsing Book Outlet. It was the first in the series. It sounded interesting. It's the reason for all of my books. Have I started the series? No. Is this like the fourth one in the series? Yes. Do I own them all? Yes. Same but third in the series? Again, yes. Do I have problems? Yes. I was so excited when they had this because I hate spending like 20 bucks on these little novellas. I am missing Across the Green Grass Field, but I've read all of them. And I loved it. It's the third in the series. Have I started the series? Have I heard good things about the series? Yes. Do I have problems? Again, yes. All right, so 2 more books in this box, and that box is done. Woo! Boxes are falling over. All right, so the next one I got is The Troop. I blamed this on Gabby. And then I had House of Hollows because the cover's pretty and it sounded interesting. I have no other excuses. Okay, this is the one that showed up like wrecked. The whole box was just holding on by a thread. So I went ahead and grabbed it. Oh. We did check this box to see that everything was okay in it before I left my window of 30 days. Plus there was a couple books in here for my son and one for my husband. And my husband took his with him on deployment. He left today and my son has his upstairs. So the first book I bought was Shel Silverstein. I got a bunch of his books and I absolutely love them. This one is very much an adult book though. And it actually is. I'm looking forward to reading it. Oh my gosh, I just opened it up and there's a voodoo doll in it. But this is one of his like little poem books that I used to read when I was a kid, but this one is made for adults. So that's gonna be fun for me. All right, I bought Atlas 6. I have the original Atlas 6, the self-published one, but I heard that this one's got a lot of content that the other one doesn't have. So I haven't read that one yet. I just went ahead and bought this one. I figured that it was just going to be easier to read the book that has all the content in it for the next book that comes out in the series. I don't remember whose channel I saw this on, probably Kayla's, and she liked it. She said it was interesting. It's got an actual anatomical heart on the front, which I think is kind of cool. So I bought it. This is a book that I saw, it's kind of dinged up too. at Barnes & Noble. When I was doing the buy one get one half price, this is one of the ones I was really considering. It sounded really, really good. And then I looked to see if it was on Book Outlet by any chance, because why buy a full price book when you can buy it cheap? And it was on there. So I figured I'll just buy it from Book Outlet instead. I have been really interested in getting back into like the old paranormal romance stage that I was in when I first started reading. I figured maybe that would help me get me out of the slump, is to read old favorites. And I was always interested in this book. This is Bitten by Kelly Armstrong. It's a werewolf romance. Don't quote me on that because I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. And I was really interested in it back in the day, and I saw it come up on Book Outlet. I figured maybe I should just go with this. I also unpacked all my mass markets and I started reading one of those. I ended up putting it down, but I am starting to read again, which is great. And then I have The Romantic Agenda, which is an ace romance, which I think is going to be fun because I am definitely on the ace spectrum. I'm not full ace, but I definitely am a gray. And I have a lot of the ace tendencies. And I thought something like this would be fun because I am 100% a massive romantic, but when it comes to the sexual side of stuff, not always there. And this is, you know, about someone who's asexual, but not a romantic, and I'm very interested in it. All right, there's one box left. Sippy sippy first. Last box. Oh, this was a recent one. This is called My Average Hot Guy. It's a demon romance. And there's 2 of them. So I bought the first one, but I didn't buy both. I'm growing. I'm getting better. Okay, this one is A Magic Steeped in Poison. I bought it because of the cover. It's getting dark, hold on. Okay, I don't know if that's any better or not. My face looks red. But I turned my ring light on. It is across the room. I have it set up for my plan with me's, but I figured it would help some, and it seems to. The joys of living in Washington, even though it is 10 o'clock in the morning, it's dark outside. But anyways, so this one I bought simply because of its prettiness. And I really, really like the prettiness. And I was curious, so I bought it. I have no excuses, I really don't. The Bone Maker. Again, this is another fantasy. I don't know if it's adult or YA because Sarah Beth Durst, I think, writes both. But it sounded really interesting. I bought it. I have no excuses, I really don't. And then let's see. The last couple books in the bottom of the box that is falling on me. This one I thought was really pretty. I feel like I might actually have this one somewhere. I have not been keeping my app up to date. I use the Book Buddy and it tracks all of my books for me, so that way I know where, what I have. And this one was not on my app, but now that I'm thinking about it, I feel like I've seen this cover before. Maybe I've just been looking at it so much, I don't know. I have a Rinch Pecco book. This is the 3rd book in a series I have not started yet. I only have the 1st book, but I love Rinch Pecco, so I bought the book. And then the last one is one that my daughter was really interested in, and when I read the synopsis, thought it sounded really good too. I don't particularly like this cover. The 2nd book has a much prettier cover, but she wanted to read it and so did I, so I bought it for both of us. And that's it. That is my ginormous pile of books. And I need to go grab my phone and start plugging them in. My guess is there's about 50 of them, but we'll see. So I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye and hope that you guys have a great day, and thank you so much for watching. I apologize if it's dark. Unfortunately, this is just the default to living in a dark, gloomy state during the gloomy part of the year. It's dark here, but it's beautiful and I love it. And it's kind of nice to be home. But I will talk to you guys soon. Bye. Okay, I don't know if you can see it, but it's snowing.
That's old snow.
That is snow. Side note, 72. That's how many books I just hauled. 72. All right, bye now.